Good morning. They've asked me to speak to you just a few minutes about our emergency preparedness efforts, some system operation or restoration efforts, and just give you an idea of how we go about our job to restore power. So let's start talking about the number one core value at PHI is safety. Safety in everything that we do. The crews that work out of this service center here, safety has to be paramount in everything that they do because of the element that they work in. It's very unforgiving and very dangerous. We want to share that information with our first responders to keep them safe and to keep their crews safe. We also want to share that information with our communities, both through newsletters, advertisements, and public speaking events. Let's talk a little bit about restoration of service. In a disaster, the continuity of government and community is essential. Pepco's restoration plan must support that systematic effort in the restoration sequence, and we have to be able to continue our process, but also include what's important to the communities. Our restoration plan is one based on, excuse me, a priority basis. So we're looking at life-safety issues first. Down energized wires, hospitals, nursing homes, 911 centers, water treatment plants, all those things are the top of our list to get restored for our communities. After that, we're looking at our bulk power systems. If you can get your bulk power system back up online, you're restoring tens of thousands of customers. If you look at this demonstration or diagram here below, going from left to right, excuse me, right to left, your left to right, you look at the generation station all the way down the line. If you can get those substations up online, you're affecting thousands of customers. Then you work out into your community to get the primary feeders back up, and then finally down into your individual single no currents. So it's a priority-based restoration. It's a process that we have to follow. If you were to start at the other end and go back, it wouldn't be very effective because if you don't have a supply coming in, there's not much point in restoring those power lines if you have nothing coming in to support them. Those causes can be a lot of different things. We're here today to talk about hurricane season. But as you know, weather is a big part of today's event, but it can be other things. It can be a car accident, someone striking a pole. It can be a cable cut. Trees and wires. We have a beautiful tree canopy in the National Capital Region, but it wreaks havoc on utilities all across the country. But trees down, tree limbs affecting wires, they can all cause outages. Equipment failure. And it's something that some people may not think about are animals. Squirrels, snakes, raccoons, birds of prey. As a matter of fact, we had about 3 weeks ago, we had an outage. A raccoon got into one of our substations, got up on a switchgear. Didn't turn out very well for him, and it caused about 3,000 outages. So there's a lot of different things that can cause an outage. The misnomer of a blue sky day, there should be no outages, that's not true. There's a lot of things that can cause outages. It's not just weather. As we mentioned, those challenges are weather too. But as you know, living and working in this area, transportation. On a nice day like this, in the middle of an afternoon, it can take you maybe 15 minutes to go between Rockville and Germantown. Try that same commute at 4 o'clock in the afternoon during rush hour. Our crews have to deal with that just like you do, and a lot of times that can delay our restoration efforts just simply by the transportation of our crews back and forth. As a utility, we provide two key services. The first is energy, the second is information. When the first is unavailable, the second becomes critical. Our customers need that information to better plan their lives. Pepco, and for that matter all of PHI, recognizes the importance of providing and maintaining a reliable electric service and being a reliable neighbor to our communities, especially in times of crisis. And how do we do this? Well, from an emergency preparedness standpoint, we believe it's a three-prong approach. That through education, communication, you build solid, strong partnerships. Education, you have to share information, processes. You participate in drills and exercises with each other. You think outside the box. Just because we've been doing something for 30 years doesn't mean there's not a better way to do it. Communication. You have to develop and maintain effective lines of communication. Sharing the proper and ensuring that the proper information is shared between the utility and the emergency management agencies. We have to establish priorities and set expectations. Understand how each of us are doing our job. And the reality is if you're not communicating, you're not educating. One doesn't go without the other. And if you do those things effectively, you will build partnerships that are lasting, that are strong, and they're based on two things. The common goal of serving the community, and they're focused on operational issues. And when I work with the directors, we have a little saying that we leave the egos at the door and the politics where it should be outside. Because we're focused on operational issues only, and that's how we're going to be effective. So again, the key here is communication. It's 24/7, it's not situational, it's something that we've had in place for a long time, and that we continually try to work to improve. We're continually assessing how we communicate, our ability to communicate with our EMAs as well as our state, local, and federal executives. The EMA director is the point of adjudication for issues. He has to be the one point that I go to get those concerns for the county. He knows what's important in the region, he knows what's critical at that time, and he can then provide those to me so that I can import that into our restoration plan. That requirement for the partnership is not easy. It's based on a commitment, it's based on long-term efforts, and it's something that we continually work on. And the more that we work on it, the better we're able to deal with these events. And in the long term, the bottom line here is that we've established a trust. It's based on respect, understanding of operational needs, and limitations as well. It's established well in advance and on blue sky days, not during events. It's an operational practice rather than it's a routine rather than the exception. And it's based, again, as I mentioned, on that common goal of serving our communities. And if we stay focused on those operational issues, we'll get better and better, and we'll be able to get through these events with less stress and more proficiency, and it'll be a better ending for everyone, especially those that we serve, which are our customers. So with that, I want to thank you for your time, your patience. I hope you get a chance to see our live safety demonstration. We'll talk a little bit more about electrical safety and the issues that our guys deal with every day and how to keep you safe.